So when troubles come, are we still conforming to be like Jesus? Are we conforming? See, conforming to be like him even when we look at things that we call the little things. It's just a little thing. It ain't no big deal. When I go to lunch and I know I'm only got a half hour, but I take 45 minutes to an hour. It's just a little thing. I'm going to come back. For those that don't clock in, you know, they trust you to write it down. I'm going to write down a half hour. I've been gone a whole hour. What comes out of you then? When the bank says you got 10 grand in there, and I've been done like that before. I'll tell you the truth. Banks had $10,000 in the bank. And you know you ain't got 10,000 in the bank. You know you ain't got but 1,000. You run into the bank trying to pull it out so they catch it. Because the enemy done got in you, and Jesus is telling you on your way while you're trying to pull that money, get thee behind thee, Satan. Get thee behind thee. But yet you still running to the ATM. That's the little things we call. The little things. When you're driving down the street and somebody cuts you off and gives you the middle finger. They done wronged you twice in your mind. They done cut you off and then told you with the middle finger, you know what they told you. After they done cut you off. Then the devil said, you been punked. Get him. Pull up on him. Give him a piece of your mind. You know you ain't got much mind to give in the first place, so you need to keep it. Who are you then? And then who's coming out of you at that time? Oh, here's a good one for you. Who are you when they lie on you? Who are you then? Do you just want to give them a piece of your little mind that you need to keep for yourself? Or do you say, forget it? I ain't concerned about that. And what I need to do is say, Lord, you forgive them. And Lord, you have mercy on them. See, that's when if you got him on the inside, that's what's supposed to come out of you. I learned that a long time ago. When people wrong me, I began to say, Lord, forgive them, God. And I couldn't stop right there. I had to say, Lord, have mercy on them. Because I knew that the scriptures are true, that they're going to reap what they sow. And God said, woe unto them that cause my little children to stumble. He said, vengeance is mine, thus said the Lord, I shall repay. We don't have to do nothing but stand still and see the glory of God. Now, I'm not standing up here like I'm perfect now. I promise you that sometimes in my mind, I be like, I need to get them. I need to tear their neck off. Stick my hand down their neck and pull their heart out. Don't get it twisted. They ain't punking me. But then I have to realize at times. I should realize at all times. But there's times when I don't. But the times that I do, I realize God is in control. I have to let God be that which we always say he is, the head of our life. And since he is, then that means he's in control of our lives. And since he is the head, then we ought to be following him because he's the head. If your feet ain't gonna go nowhere, your head don't go. Amen? Who are we when we see that woman or that man that used to make us blink and quiver and shake? Who are we then? Who are we when we go over one of our old partner houses, walk in the door, we see that bottle of old Jack Daniels, see that old Jim Beam box sitting up there, knowing how we used to kick it with our partner. and even know your partner know you got Jesus, he going to still offer you a drink. When he offer you that drink, who going to come out of you then? When he tried to convince you, just take a little ain't going to hurt you. But then your mind should remember, if it's in your mind, drink no strong drink. Take of no strong drink, the word of God tells us. Who are you when you walk in that old associate's house? Before you even really get in the door, you smell the weed coming through the door. And then you begin to remember, and you say to yourself, woo, that smells good. He got that good stuff in there. He got that ganja, the bomb. Who's working on the inside, coming out then? You see, Peter thought he knew himself, just like we believe we know ourselves. But yet in times of our life, we'll say, what I do that for? That convinces me that you really don't know who you are. But when the pressure was applied to Peter, the true person came out, and he knew then who he really was. And it's not, and it's then and only then can even we ourselves know when the pressure is applied as to who we really are in Jesus. And if we would take heed to the weaknesses within ourselves and be honest with ourselves, it's then and only then can change even come about in ourselves. You see, when Peter stumbled, he got up. He didn't like what he saw when he saw his true self, but he strengthened himself by the words of the Lord and was true to himself as to who he really was in Jesus, and went and preached the word of God in a mighty way. And on Pentecost he preached, and about 3,000 souls were saved. Because it's only then and only then when you see who you really are and can correct that thing and make that change, that you can go forth mightily in the gospel of Jesus Christ. David said, let me see myself, Lord. In Psalms 51, he says, Lord, show me to myself. Always show me the true me by showing me my transgressions. Keep them before me and remind me of who I am. Can you do that? Are you afraid of what you'll see? Come on out of the dark places in your life and turn the light on yourself, not someone else. You don't have no problem turning the light on somebody else, but turn the light on yourself. Just turn it on you and come to really know who you really are in Jesus. I challenge everyone listening today to ask God to show you who you really are in Jesus. And if you don't like what you see, and you probably won't, if you are truly honest, then ask God to strengthen you by his word for change. Can you do that? Can you ask God that? Are you ready to really see you and who you really are? Because you've been proclaiming that you've been like Jesus. But ask God to show you you. I challenge you today. Can you say amen? Give God a hand clap of praise.